sinners. You know, Ralph Waldo Emerson once said, "Do not follow where my path may lead. Go instead where there is no path and leave a trail." Or as I like to say, blaze a trail. As you can probably tell by the topic of today's video, we're going to be discussing abortion. But I'm going to do it in a little bit different way. Maybe this has been done before. If it has, I have not seen it, so bear with me and play along that maybe my thoughts are original here. As you probably know, or you can tell by looking at my YouTube page, that I would be what most people would consider a fundamental Christian. Right-wing fundy, as some people like to call it. So let's just go with that. I'm not going to fight you on that today. That's not the purpose of this video. The purpose of this video today is to talk about a solution to abortion. And I don't mean a solution as in a finality, as in how to end it, because it's one of those things that's, no matter what you do, is never going to go away. But our president, Barack Obama, has been quoted as saying that he believes that abortions should be safe, they should be affordable, and they should be legal. And that they should be rare. He has been quoted as saying that they should be rare. So let's pretend that since he is the leader of, well, pretty much the free world right now, and also the mouthpiece for what I would consider the liberals, the Liberal Party. I don't like to get into that game a whole lot, the liberals versus conservative kind of thing, because I don't like playing identity politics. You know, people can be right and wrong for reasons other than just party lines. So let's discuss it in the manner that the Liberal Party also agrees that abortions should be rare, and how do we get to that stage? I believe that there are three fundamental things that need to happen for abortion to reach the endangered species list. First and foremost, a change has to happen in folks like me. There has to be an agreement or a compromise, if you will, that no matter what we do, no matter how illegal we make it, no matter how severe the punishments we make for abortion, abortion will not go away. And there's always going to be those exceptions where it's a scared little girl or a rape case, and that's going to just tug at our heartstrings, and we're going to say that maybe this one was justified. So we have to allow that there's probably 10% of abortions that maybe will just never go away. And for somebody like me, that's a pretty hard thing to admit, especially since I have a 7-week-old child right now, and I hold him every night and look at him and wonder how on earth I could ever want to get rid of him. But that is just me. Please do not say that I'm forcing my opinions on you. I am just stating my own. The second fundamental thing that needs to happen is that we have to agree that abortion is not going to change overnight. It's going to be a lengthy process. Just making it illegal today would not make it go away tomorrow. Just making it illegal tomorrow would not put an end to it the day after that. So we have to agree that the fundamental changes that are needed in our society to make abortions rare are a generational process, that it's probably going to take to my great-great-grandkids to see significant movement. The number 3 fundamental change that needs to happen, and this one is the hardest because this one tugs at everybody's heartstrings, and this is the hardest one to talk about, so bear with me on this. If you are raising a daughter, let's say you're raising a little girl and you're raising her, and she's got tons of potential, she's a brilliant mind, she's just got, you know, a bright future ahead of her, and she's out with some friends one night and she's violently raped by somebody and comes up pregnant. I'm a father, I'm a man, I'm a male, I'm a member of the same species that you all are that are watching this. And I too would probably consider an abortion in that case. Now I know this is going to be hard to hear, but please bear with me. What we need to do, this is what I think we need to do to change to fundamentally change the mindset, is to ingrain in our daughters that two wrongs do not make a right. that ending that life will not change the fact that she was raped. It will not make things easier on her. It will not make things better for her. Now, I know your first argument, your first thought is the same as mine, that it's not going to make things easier, but it's going to make things harder. Of course it's going to make things harder. This is where the hard work comes in. I'm not denying that this is going to be hard. But isn't one of the biggest signs of an evolved society is showing compassion? And what kind of compassion would we be showing this society if that daughter that we love, that we would hold in our arms and see through any tragedy, if she could give that baby up to a loving, caring family that is so desperately wanting to have a child and cannot? This is another reason that I am fundamentally, absolutely, unequivocally for homosexual couples being allowed to adopt children. If those two could coincide, if a homosexual couple would openly, I know I would, if I was looking to adopt right now, I would take a child that was a product of a rape, because what would say more about an evolved society than taking something done out of hate and out of spite and turning it into one of the most loving possible things that you could do? I'm all for it. I'm sorry that I only have 4 sons, but I can promise you that if I had a daughter, this would be what I would hope to do. This is one of the things that, when my wife was pregnant, that if I had had a daughter, was one of the things that I struggled with. Would I be able to do this? And I came to a conclusive and resounding yes. I spoke to my wife about it, and the same thing. And she agreed that we would support our daughter in whatever decision she made, because you love your kids, you love them no matter what, and you don't want them to hurt, but you also want them to know that there is a loving, viable, peaceful option that does just not bring more violence into an already violent situation. Are there exceptions? Of course there are. There's always exceptions. But if with our kids, with my generation's children, if we could reduce the number of abortions by 20%, what a moral victory for our society that would be. And if that generation could in turn reduce that number of abortions by 20%, what a grand moral victory that would be. And so on and so forth. So we have to come to the conclusion that abortion will never go away 100%. It's just not going to happen. And as much as I don't like it, I can live with it if we're working towards making them, or putting them in that rare status that our president, the leader of the Liberal Party, thinks that they should be in, or has at least stated that they should be in. Now, without naming names, a good friend of mine on here claimed that his mother was violently raped and beaten and messed up for life as the product of a rape. And in no way am I trying to discount how horrible and terrible and frightening and life-altering rapes are. It's one of those things that the rapist should be punished, and punished severely. But to punish this child that had nothing to do with it only compounds the problem. And my friend, you know who you are, and I'm not saying that what you guys did was wrong, and I'm not saying that were I in your situation that I probably would not have made a very similar choice. Knowing how much I love my mother, and knowing how much something like that would absolutely destroy me and destroy our family, and would make it so hard to be a man, because that just speaks volumes about how terrible our male gender of the species can be sometimes. They're a disgrace to men like us, and we should absolutely, along with this, trying to rid this country or this society of abortions, we should be doing everything in our power to rid them of the rapists and the people who seek that dominance over women. You're disgusting, you're filthy, you're dirty, and you have no place here, and you know who you are. So those are my 3 fundamental changes that need to happen for abortions to be rare. But this is not concrete. This is not finite, and in fact, this would be, I would call this a living video, open to debate, open to discussion, open to your thoughts. Thanks for watching. I look forward to every one of your comments, and I hope we can keep it clean and civil and talk like gentlemen and ladies should about something like this. And once again, just remember that true peace will always and only begin with how we treat our children, and never has it been more evident than in this video today. Thank you all for watching.